Hello, my name is Matthew, and we are on shelf 22 of my tiny house library tour. And if you're interested in any of the books that I'm going to show, please let me know and we can work something out. You'll be supporting my plans to visit Spain. I also have a GoFundMe link if that's something that might interest you as well. But let's look at the books. And this is probably the bookshelf that I'm actually least proud of. And as we go along, I'll explain, but we'll start with a book on top. And this is one of my favorite books by one of my favorite writers, and this is The Portable Dorothy Parker, and it's just a powerhouse. It has everything that you would want, all sorts of great short stories. It has letters and articles, art criticism, literary criticism, poetry. You really can't go wrong with Dorothy Parker, and it's just a fabulous collection and edition. I mentioned after years ago, after reading Cancer Ward by Solzhenitsyn, that after I finished it, I was so impressed and mesmerized. I thought I just want to read everything by this writer, and I went on sort of a shopping spree because I just wanted to have it. And there's three big books. This is The Red Wheel, March 1917, Node 3, Book 1, by Solzhenitsyn, translated by Marion Schwartz. This thing. It is gorgeous. We have November 1916. Again, just this huge thing. Okay. And then one more, 1914, August. I haven't read any of them. I haven't touched them. I bought them with the best intentions and the biggest eyes, and each one is such a commitment that for maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years, they've just been sitting here collecting dust. And all the while, I purposefully put them on this shelf because they're directly in front of the front door. So when you walk in, you see all of these impressive books. And it's a demonstration of vanity, I think. And it's a little deceptive to have these books be front and center, and I haven't touched them. I don't know. And I do want to read them, but there's a really high likelihood that this year will go by and I won't touch them. It's a great biography, and it's a NYRB classic, and I don't know if you can tell just by the one, but it's an oversized edition, so it's a real big book. And this is Shelley, The Pursuit, by the great biographer Richard Holmes. He also translated those Gautier stories. I showed that. And there's a handful of biographies that I have around here that are quite substantial. And when one of these books pulls me in, I just, they could be as long as they like. And this is just a great book about Shelley, his life, and his work. The great, an amazing play, The Inspector, a comedy in 5 acts by Nikolai Gogol, and this is translated by Richard Pever and Volonkonsky, and then also Richard Nelson. And I love this play. It's fabulous. It's hilarious for something written maybe 150 years ago or something. It's so modern, so funny, readable and rereadable. I read this last year. It's the Makioca Sisters by Tanizaki, and I read this on the recommendation of Sean the Book Maniac. He had talked about it very highly, and I loved it. I thought it was incredibly well done. It's a slow burn kind of hangout novel, set in Japan. It's I think it's Osaka, and then another place. It was just really good. What do we have? The Rule of Saint Benedict. And I read this last year from listening to Jason from Jason Has Books. He was talking about this, and it was great. It's a real handbook or manual on how to, um, I guess, live the life of a Benedictine monk. Um, and I think it had a lot of um, good life lessons and advice that, if one were so inclined, could put to good use. Um, a memoir. This is Will by Will Self. There he is on the cover. And I liked it. I thought it was okay. A lot of his particular quirks and his brand of writing style worked fairly well in a memoir. Um, I will probably never visit it again, but he's a writer that I like, and it was interesting. And I'll show some. I have my flashcards, so I've been working on my Spanish. So here's my little Spanish. And so we have manzana, apples, la vaca, cow, la vaca, el pez, fish, el gato. I believe that's cat. El Paraguayas. This is probably my new favorite Spanish word. So it's umbrella. Yeah, umbrella. And aguayas means water, and then the pear part means stop. So it's something that stops water. El Paraguayas. I love that. El brazo. Arm. And las uvas, which are grapes. Let me know how I did on my pronunciation. I'm working on my pronunciation and my memorization. And then we have these 3 box sets, and they're probably 3 of my unwisest purchases. They're absolutely beautiful. I bought them with gift cards around Christmas time, and this is when the idea of having a library, my personal library that was going to be all the great books that I want, started going astray, where all of a sudden I'm getting these showpieces that are kind of showing off. If I had company, I guess I'd be showing off. But and so we have this. Maybe I won't pull them off, but a beautiful box set of Charles Dickens, and I like Charles Dickens. I don't love Charles Dickens, but I like him a lot. Bleak House, Hard Times, Oliver Twist, Great Expectations, A Christmas Carol, A Tale of Two Cities. Doesn't even have my favorite Dickens novel. I most likely will never touch it, and if I ever get to the point where I want to revisit any of these, I might be more inclined to find an e-copy than to want to read these. They're really for show and for people that love the author. The next one is the Brontes, and so it's Villette by Charlotte Bronte, which I've read and really enjoyed. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and The Tenet of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. And I haven't read those. And I did buy it with good intentions. The idea was, this is a huge a gap or blind spot in my reading, to not be familiar with the Brontes. And I thought I would, and I've had these for maybe 2 or 3 years now, untouched. And then the next one, same thing, and this is uh, Jane Austen, and I've read two of these. I read Sense and Sensibility and Emma, and I didn't care for either one of them. This is still an author who is a work in progress for me, cornerstone of um, English literature, the Western canon. You really can't do without Jane Austen, and I'm still neglectful in reading her books. So it has everything. It's Love and Friendship, Emma, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Persuasion, Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park. They're all books that I want to read. All of these. I've read all the Dickens, but I bought them because they're pretty. I don't know if I'd be getting rid of these, but I'm certainly not proud to have these on my shelves the way that so many of the cheap paperbacks I am, if that makes any sense. They're show-off pieces, and I think that's a defect in how I want to make good use of um, my bookshelves. I shouldn't have books that are just show-off pieces, and this is the kind of thing that I feel like you should buy when you love the author, when you want to show it off because you love the author so much. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm not entirely proud of these box sets, but here we are. So, shelf 22 of my tiny house library tour. Let me know if you have any thoughts, and you can contact me if you'd like. And we're going up, and I'm not sure how I'm going to be recording these, so I'll have to see how it goes. I like the idea of being in front of the shelf, but it goes 11 foot up in the air. I don't know how I'm going to get up there while recording. So anyway, leave a comment if you would like. Thank you for watching, and take care.